Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now August 20th of 2022, and that means we're only getting closer to other TV shows out there like Star Wars Andor, Bad Batch 2, as well as Tales of the Jedi. That's really going to make up the rest of the Star Wars shows for this year before we get into Mando Season 3 and the Ahsoka Tano series, plus more for 2023. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the new Star Wars universe is that yes, we do have Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni crafting tons of storyboards and tons of new ideas that will be implemented into the canon. They're taking a lot of highlights from Star Wars Legends, from Dark Empire to Shadows of the Empire, even to the Thrawn trilogy from the 90s. That's going to be a major part of the Ahsoka series and other shows out there. And that brings us to exactly what's been going on with Favreau and Filoni's big surprises that they are currently working on for other shows out there like The Mandalorian Season 4 and beyond. Now, one thing that Favreau has planned and has been working on for a very long time now is essentially correcting the mistakes of the sequel trilogy movies and basically accomplishing goals that other creators tried to achieve with the sequel trilogy films that were not able to be met because of Kathleen Kennedy blocking their vision. So, with that being said, one major part of the Mandoverse that is currently now in development is all set and ready to involve a big piece of the sequel trilogy that was never actually done, that was supposed to be done in the very beginning, that was completely vanished by Kathleen Kennedy. Now, of course, we're already talking about everything related to Favreau and Filoni taking some of the original concepts from the sequels and throwing it into the Mandoverse. Now, with Disney and Lucasfilm getting ready to make some big changes to the Star Wars universe, creators Favreau and Filoni are prepared to make some important announcements by this fall for the fans to get excited for the new Star Wars TV shows. However, it's described that for the upcoming shows like The Mandalorian Season 4, that both Favreau and Filoni are working on to create some very big surprises for the fandom. Now, they have been planning something truly remarkable for the fans that have already been storyboarded and planned out. It's described that both Jon and Dave have an in-depth plan to create a reunion scene between both Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, and Leia Organa Solo in The Mandalorian 4 in order to make up for what Disney failed to do in the Star Wars sequels. Now, it's described that currently Favreau and Filoni have been in the talks with actor Harrison Ford to come back as Han Solo so that they can utilize this revolutionary technology that will effectively turn him into his younger years without the de-aging technology in use that can be quite expensive. Now, ILM is said to have crafted an entirely new way of doing this that will actually be used for Mando 4, and Harrison is still in the talks. If Harrison rejects, Jon and Dave will fall back on the deepfake technology method. Actor Mark Hamill is said to be a part of this new reunion scene that will involve a full recreated version of Leia Organa Solo. This reunion scene is actually set to take place on the world of Ossus, near Luke Skywalker's Jedi Temple, where the Millennium Falcon can be seen in the background with Chewbacca and Lando Calrissian standing next to the ship working on some repairs. All of this is already storyboarded and ready to be developed into the script and filmed for the 4th season. Luke Skywalker in the reunion scene is said to be older than how he appears in the Book of Boba Fett. Leia in this scene is said to have a lightsaber attached to her belt that is described to be a part of her Jedi training at the time. Now, before I get to the next thing, which is crucial by the way, to, of course, major retcons coming our way by Jon and Dave, the thing about this too that I think is so exciting is the fact that this is something that should have been done from the very beginning. Alright, in the sequel trilogy, in The Force Awakens, right from the start, we should have gotten a full-on reunion scene, and I'll never forget what Mark Hamill said. Mark Hamill always wanted to have Luke, Han, and Leia meet in The Force Awakens before Han Solo died, and that's what pretty much Disney failed to do. Because they were so, focused on this storyline of Luke going into hiding and not showing up until the very end of The Force Awakens. That was basically to create momentum for The Last Jedi, for fans to actually get hyped up for the middle film of the trilogy. That was their basic strategy, so to speak. Didn't turn out too well, though, in the end, as we all know. So here we are with Jon and Dave now. Basically what they're doing is that they are building the momentum for Mandalorian Season 4 to have all these different surprises, all these different reveals, especially this one. Now, do I think that Harrison Ford is going to come back in the end as a younger version of Han Solo to use this new technology that ILM is now utilizing for the Mandoverse and other projects? I'm going to go ahead and say it's a 50-50 because, let's be honest here, they really had to twist his arm to come back as a cameo in The Rise of Skywalker. It took many months of negotiating and convincing him to come back. So I'm not quite sure about this one. But if he does not come back, in the case he does not return, they have the technology there, the deepfake technology. So moving forward from that, alright? Now, Jon and Dave are creating some retcons currently on with Leia and how she gives up to become a Jedi later than, of course, earlier than how it was implemented in Episode 9's flashback scene. Jon and Dave want to make it clear that Leia trained longer than how she did in comparison to how Kathleen Kennedy made it out to be in Episode 9's flashback. Harrison Ford is said to be asking for a very high amount of pay, however, to get involved in Star Wars again, after he swore he never wanted to return again after The Rise of Skywalker, and even that was said to be a very lucky chance. However, Ford is now considering it, given that it is said to be a very special moment that will be done in the Star Wars universe. Additionally, Favreau is set to give Luke a brand new appearance in his reunion scene, along with Leia. One of the storyboards features all three of them hugging. It's described to be the very first time that they see Luke Skywalker's Jedi Temple complete on Ossus, and that Luke tells them to keep it a very big secret from any outsiders. Which, by the way, guys, in case you guys did not know, that is directly in line with the canon. In the canon, we all know that Luke kept his Jedi Temple a secret from anybody else besides Ben Solo, his students, and of course his closest friends. Outside of that, nobody knew about Luke's Jedi Temple. That's in canon. And that's what they want to expand on in The Mandalorian Season 4, so I think that's going to be a very special part about all of this. Now, the fact that they are going to be recreating Leia in a very new way, that's going to be its own type of technology, something that we have yet to have seen by ILM. They did it their own way in Rogue One. They're going to do it a different way now in The Mandalorian Season 4, so I think that this is long overdue. And as long as it's executed very well, and if it's built up properly, it's going to have that impact on the fans. It's going to have that magical feeling. You can't rush this, you can't breeze through this, you have to take your time on this reunion scene. It's got to build up to it, it's got to feel very special to the fans, where it's going to have a lot of rewatch value, where a lot of people can just keep going back and watching that special moment. So that's what they have to accomplish. To me, you know, Luke Skywalker entering into Mando Season 2 had that effect. You can just keep watching that scene over and over, and it has that same magical feeling. So overall, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again. No.